And welcome back to the Fun Astrology Podcast for Thursday, August 8th. Thomas Miller coming to you from one of my favorite spots on the planet. We've been on this tour of the Rockies while it's been 105 back in Texas. And right now, the stop for the next couple of days is in Aspen. I love this place. Oh, man. Got a fantastic hike in yesterday and doing another one today and getting a lot of work done and putting a very special seminar together that some folks here are involved with that we'll be telling you about here before too long. So hold a date in November. It's around I believe the 9th, and I'll be telling you more, but that's a date that you, especially with your interest in astrology, you might want to kind of carve out. And what I'm doing will be online and available on demand, so you don't have to necessarily hold to that time. Yes, we are in modern times, and we will fix you up with whenever you want to watch or listen. Okay, a couple of things to talk about today on the chart. We've been covering these big patterns, so we still have the square between Jupiter and Neptune. We've talked about that. We still have the trine between Venus and Jupiter. That's still in place and will be for a while. So we've laid that macro ground. We have to go into some subtleties today because everything else that we've talked about this week is still pretty much in play. So let's talk about the moon moving this afternoon into Sagittarius. Have you felt the Scorpio moon over the last couple of days? Did you feel on Tuesday, think back to Tuesday, did you feel that little bit of tense energy around the square between the moon and Mercury? And then did you enjoy the grand trine yesterday of that deep spiritual connection? Well, we're going to kind of build on that. So the moon is going to move out of Scorpio's depth and water and back into Sagittarius's fire. And Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Sagittarius right now. So Jupiter is very happy, and over the next couple of days, the moon is going to cross over Jupiter as it spends the next 2.5 days in Sagittarius. But here's the official time. At 4:35 p.m. Eastern Time today, the moon will cross over into Sagittarius. And that's after spending most of the day void of course. We've talked about void of course a couple of weeks ago maybe, but void of course is when the moon crosses its last aspect before it changes signs. So the moon has been void of course, will be void of course, by the time it moves into Sagittarius. It's a little lull spot. It's just a little, like not much going on. So if you kind of feel a little slack today, that could be because this moon transition. This is a pretty big, this crossing from what we had over the last couple of days in Scorpio into Sagittarius. It's kind of like the moon sheds a weight. It's like throwing a backpack off. Okay, I'm up in the mountains. Let's say throwing a backpack off your back. And all of a sudden you're standing on the edge of a mountain cliff looking out over this beautiful view, and you just take in a big, deep breath. That's kind of what the moon will be doing when it moves into Sagittarius from Scorpio. And with Jupiter sitting just 14 degrees away, the moon gets to go chase Jupiter down, which is the ruler of Sagittarius. So this is a happy time. The moon and Jupiter will be happy as this thing crosses over. So that's kind of that setup. Then there's also a mystic rectangle, and we've talked about this formation a couple of times. It's a subtlety that a lot of people don't probably pick up on or talk about, but it's when you have two sextiles and two trines that form a rectangle inside the chart. Energetically, it just supercharges those involved. So this one involves the North Node and South Node, the midheaven, and Neptune. Okay, those are the players. So what this is all about, just in real short order, is this same transformation, this same working on your purpose, this same spiritual deep insight that the universe is supporting us with this year, getting ready now for the big Saturn-Pluto conjunction on January 10th, 2020, that this is just giving us these little windows of opportunity. And that's one of the cool things that I'm having just a blast with doing with you guys, is pointing these little windows of opportunity out because it gives us this chance to do this work. So this is about soul purpose. North Node, South Node, with deeper insight coming from inside. That's Neptune in retrograde, going backwards for another couple of months, around our career, around our persona out there in the world, who we are as us. It's the identity. Oh, there's a banker, there's a doctor, there's a guy who drives a truck, or a gal who is a project manager. It's just, that's our identity out there in the world. So there are some subtleties, some subtle energies around that today that you can pick up on to take some of those notes and know where you could improve from this soul journey, which is the movement from the South Node to the North Node. Now, if that conversation is new and you haven't really dived into the nodes, you don't even have to know your birth time to know your node. If you just go on Google and you put in your birthday and then North Node, it will tell you what your North Node sign is, and probably will tell you the South Node right there just in that search. If not, it's the opposite sign on the astrological wheel. That's your North and South Node. And those are involved in this. And so whenever we talk about the nodes, it's always good to just blow off the dust on, why am I here? What did I bring in with me? That's the South Node. And where am I moving in my soul-based journey? Astrology has so much depth of wisdom on that topic in the chart that it is all built in. When they say that a baby comes into this world without an instruction manual, I beg to disagree. It's all right there in the chart, and it's there for us to unlock. So that's what we're doing. And that's the energy that's involved today. So this is about soul purpose. This is Soul Purpose Thursday. Go do some digging into your own life. Let that intuition from Neptune speak as you think about, who am I in the world and what do I need to move toward? We'll see you tomorrow from Aspen for our TGI Friday. Have a great one.